I'm Mark Shue, and this is Fantasy Football, a reality competition. We've got a great show for you tonight. We threw some interesting twists at the contestants, which made for some fun drama. We have some more game footage, including footage from the Thursday night Immunity Showdown, where the Bucks take on the Eagles in Philadelphia. We're going to take you to that Immunity Showdown in just a few minutes. I thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Subscribe to the Primetime Fantasy Network on YouTube, like this video, and click the notification bell so you never miss an episode. I'm really excited about the direction that this show is going. This being a pilot season, I really try my best to make sure that we improve upon each episode week after week, and I have to give it up to my contestants for helping make that happen. I really can't thank them enough. You should make sure to check all of them out. I've started to get more of a hang of this editing thing. I got myself a new computer, if you can't tell, and we are ready to roll, and hopefully each episode going forward continues to improve. We start off the week, as always, with the Immunity Showdown. Let's take a look.
Top 6 scorers in the league, plus the Immunity Showdown winner, get to decide 3 participants to go to the Monday night Eliminator. I think that I could be a target this week to eliminate a pretty strong team. It's not really my forte, but this week I need Immunity Showdown. I could not believe I was able to get Lombardi Lenny, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Zach Ertz, and Tom Brady in a lineup, but it happened, so let's rock and roll.
What's up, y'all? It's the Surgeon checking in with my main man, Killer B.
What up, what up?
We're on our way right now to the Eagles-Bucks game. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts in my MVP spot. I'm going to stack him with Zach Ertz. You can't ignore the value at 6,500. And Quez Watkins down there low. Running that back with the GOAT. How can you not? Fournette in my lineup as well.
Likewise, with Steve thinking, went with Jalen in the MVP slot. Went Zach Ertz, but I also threw in there Devontae Smith. Got to throw a kicker in there because I'm always throwing a kicker in. So we're going with Suck Up. And then we drop in Tom Brady in that last spot. Hope he puts up some points. I'm nervous right now, man. This is going to be a rough week for me.
Eagles are going up against the Bucks. You got to start Jalen. I thought about putting Fournette in my king spot, and it probably would have been a smarter play, but I'm going to go Hurts just because I guess it's safer. I'm going to grab Zach Ertz because Goddard's out, so it's probably going to be one of his only targets. Upside of Miles Sanders, and obviously I'm going Fournette, and obviously I'm going to put Brady in there too. Jalen, you got this, buddy. You got this, Jalen.
You know how we're going to win? Not with Miles Sanders. He ain't going anywhere near this lineup. Our secret weapon, Zachary, the Ertz.
Ertz to Ertz, touchdown, early in the first quarter. First and goal from the 1. Hurts just hit Quest for a 2-point conversion. Eagles down by 6. 6 minutes left in the game. Eagles trying to make a crazy comeback. Let's go.
Jeez, man. Oh, Quez Watkins. Like, come on. I can't believe I lost by that little amount. 0.30 points. Made a big mistake and took Lenny out and put Jalen there. I would have won it this week. Oh, what a letdown.
You know what? It was a tough night out here for my birds, but we finally got that W. We're taking down that Immunity Showdown. I'm looking forward to leverage that this week, and I got some big plans. Proud to be the Immunity Showdown champ this week. Let's go.
Congratulations to Steve the Surgeon. That Quez Watkins 2-point conversion and 0.3 of a point was all that he needed to edge out JC Money Design this week. He brings home the Immunity Showdown victory in the building with 104.48 points. And let's take a look at the Immunity Showdown leaderboard through 6 weeks, where JC Money Design has a slight edge over Steve with 84.7 points per game. Shuey, Joe Momolo, and Too Many TDs round out the top 5. And our 2 other Immunity Showdown winners left in the competition, Thomas Tipple and Jay Cola, are hanging out in the middle of the pack, while G Money, Burner of Stone, and Alex Kerp end up with our bottom 3-point averages for the Immunity Showdown this season. If they are looking to win one sometime soon, they better be stepping it up. With the Surgeon's Immunity Showdown victory, he becomes the first member of this week's panel. He will join the top 6 scorers in the gauntlet to determine the fate of the rest as they vote for 3 members to go into this week's Elimination Showdown on Monday night. Let's check in on the rest of the contestants as they prepare for this week's gauntlet.
Sunday, we're going into the gauntlet, and there'll be 16 teams.
Maddie's team had some star-studded players. I think we're going to see a lot of fab go this week. I think we're going to see a pretty hefty price on Kamara, Joe Mixon as well. Then we got Cooper Kupp, one of the best wide receivers in the league at this point from a fantasy perspective. We're going to see a lot of fab spent this week, and maybe these guys will get down to my level so that I'll be kind of on par with them after going out and adding Antonio Gibson and T. Higgins last week.
A lot of people are going to be hurting now that buys are starting, but my team is particularly snake bitten with some of my best players being out. I had to get rid of Emmanuel Sanders last week because he was going to be out week 6 and 7. Week 7 is the week that I have my top 3 draft picks all out. So I really need to do something.
We just had some bombshells dropped on us. Top 7 teams are safe, plus the Immunity Showdown winner is safe. And then the 7 choose from the remaining 10 and send 3 of them into the Eliminator Showdown. The highest chance to date of anybody being eliminated once in the Eliminator Showdown. Scary stuff, especially as a team like mine that's talented and has a lot of fab. I got a huge target on my back already. People are going to want the good teams gone, especially those with the extra cash to throw around.
Let's get it. Let's get into it, baby. This gauntlet's going to be fun. It's really, really going to change the outlook of this game over the next couple weeks. Putting the control in the players' hands. Getting one of those top spots is going to be a prized possession that everyone's trying to get every week. If you're a top-notch team, or if you have high fab, oh man, you can count yourself going to the gauntlet that week no matter what happens.
Interesting twist this week. We form a panel, we vote in 3 people into the Elimination Showdown. This is going to get interesting. Time to build some friends. Let's piss off a few people. Let's make this fun. Let's go.
Not exactly sure how it is. A little confused. I know I gotta finish top, so then you don't vote for me to go into the bottom in an Elimination Showdown. My suggestion just happened to be biggest point differential in the head-to-head. I might have been going up against a guy that's been eliminated a couple weeks ago. Anyway, that didn't go over too good.
Gymnastic. He has a solid team. So he's one of the guys I'm kind of worried about in this league. There are 3 players right now with $900+ available of their 1,000.
I hear word that there might be some alliances. Is that how we're doing it? All right then, bet.
Jeremy Brenner, the one person who's not spent a single dollar of fab yet, and so he wants to form an alliance if one of us finishes in the top 7. Now, send the other person to the Eliminator. It's interesting that he reached out to me because, one, yes, he's got a lot of fab, and he has a good point about the alliance. We do have targets on our back. However, his team this week is wrecked. He's missing people in the lineup. He hasn't spent money on fab, and this guy is even playing the game. I don't even know. And the sooner the guy can control the market, the better. He'd be my pick to be out, and he's going to most likely be in the Eliminator Showdown. At least I would be absolutely shocked if he didn't finish at the bottom 10.
Joe called me out in that group chat. I was surprised. Maybe he just was threatened by the fact that I haven't spent any of my fab yet. Obviously, it didn't do very, very many favors for me, but that's not a very smart move in my eyes for him because he's like the next highest after me. So if you're trying to target me in a public group chat, then I'm going to point the finger right back at you.
They have now added a tight end spot. Since I didn't get a Kelsey or a Waller or any one of the top tight ends, I've completely punted that position. I had Max Williams actually on my squad last week, but he succumbed to injury and is possibly out for the season. Just hope that I can scavenge something up this week, especially with bye weeks, this being the first bye week, so the pickings are already slim as it is. And also there's talks that Nick Chubb might be out.
Where have all the tight ends gone? Where have all the tight ends gone? Jesus! Nothing! So now I'm stuck with just the scraps. We will figure this out. The rest of my team does suck, but it's alright. I went all in on Cooper Kupp. I overpaid by a ton, but it's alright. Between Mahomes, Williams, and Kupp, one of those three people have to have a monster game, or else I'm leaving any possible week. Let's make this happen. I will stay alive. Let's do this. I'm super ready.
Now we have a starting tight end. That's not really a big problem for me. King Kelsey. Mondays don't count, so I don't have my big waiver wire ad from a few weeks ago, Josh Allen and the anchor in there. Hopefully your boy gets high enough that he can vote some teams to go into the Monday elimination. And if he doesn't, hopefully my jokes have kept me here long enough that these guys don't want to see me go up into the Monday elimination because I suck at DFS.
My goals for this week, I decided once again not to spend a lot of my money. And there was some pretty big money drop once again. I think it'll be really important to have a second QB down the line. I feel like that's a change that's going to come. So picked up Jameis Winston for $2 in fab, beat the point after who had $0 in fab on him. I want to try to fill my bench with players that I think can help me long term.
I made a trade of Jonathan Taylor. I ended up selling him for a little bit less than I probably should have, but I sold him for $200 cash to give me some waiver wire money.
I need to make an educational video, very relevant fantasy term. Fleece, or in this case, to fleece, or in the act of fleecing. I am happy to report we acquired Jonathan Taylor, fresh off of a huge 2-touchdown performance on Monday night, and all we had to do was give up 200 fab and Darnell Mooney. Let's go through some of the transactions that have taken place already this year. Dalvin Cook went for $922. Ezekiel Elliott went for $801. Joe Mixon went for $605. Antonio Gibson went for $312. We get it done for $200. Then he immediately says, I think I'm going to come back to regret this. I'm scrambling to hit the button and accept. Thank goodness I do. I immediately send back to him, I think you're going to regret it too, Cooter, but it was a pleasure doing business with you. Cooter, my man, you're a great guy. You got fleeced, my friend.
We will be right back with this week's action from the Gauntlet. Stay with us on Fantasy Football. Welcome back to Fantasy Football. This week's Gauntlet twist will see the top performers deciding the fate of the rest, as the top 6 scores from the Gauntlet will join Steve, our Immunity Showdown winner, in forming a panel to vote and decide which 3 contestants will head to the Elimination Showdown on Monday night. Once the panel is decided, the only thing saving a vulnerable contestant will be the top nerd, as they earn a special power this week to save one contestant from the Elimination Showdown. Let's see how everything went down.
Oh, Kenny Gainwell. What have I done? Not only did I start you in the Immunity Showdown, I also started you as my RB2 this week.
Looking forward to having Lamar Jackson back in my lineup this week. Hopefully against this Chargers team, he can put up some big numbers and do really well.
I don't have Eli Mitchell this week. I don't have Stephon Diggs. My team is going to be thin. It's going to be tough for me to make it through the Gauntlet. I'm very nervous about that.
Zach Ertz was just traded. Hopefully, if I make it through this week, Dallas Goedert will be a steal of this free agent period where I got him for $50.
Another beautiful Sunday. Let's check out some of the action from the contestants.
Sunday morning, Jaguars are currently playing Miami Dolphins. It's been a fun game so far. Won a little money on Jalen Waddle's first touchdown.
I made the mistake of not checking T.Y. Hilton's status. He did end up playing, and he had like 10 points. But I had him on my bench while Adam Humphries did absolutely nothing.
The 1 o'clock slate is not being very nice to me right now. I've been riding Alexander Madison, but Dalvin Cook looks like he's fully back. Justin Jefferson did decent, but he had a fumble. I've really struggled at the wide receiver position. It's looking bleak.
Playing Darrell Williams was pretty good for me this week, 22 points. My team's starting to form, starting to come around. I'm in a good spot.
You know, sometimes you have buyer's remorse. You spend up, you decide to buy something all shiny and bright, and you hope it works out for you and it doesn't work out for you. This is not, I repeat, not one of those times. When Myles Gaskin gets you a point, McKinnon gets you 2 points, Mike Williams gets you 3 points, Jack Doyle gets you 0 points, you need someone to come and surprise you and save your team, and that's Cooper Kupp with 30 points. The only saving grace on my team was spending all of my money on Cooper Kupp. Thank you, Cooper Kupp.
I am a huge Cleveland Browns fan. I was so excited to get Hunt on my team. And now Kareem Hunt is being carted off the field. Tears streaming from his eyes and my eyes. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out, but the way that he got carted out, the look on his face, it looks like it's going to be a long time.
Lamar Jackson, El Freaky himself, with the touchdown to Mark Andrews. Alex Collins putting up touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 2 tutties. Kenyon Drake put up 2 touchdowns. Tim Patrick, touchdown. Lots of touchdowns. That's what you like to see in this league.
My studs let me down, let's be honest. CD Lamb did his best, but the rest of my team, quite frankly, just let me down. Big one was really Antonio Gibson, who just put 2.5 points out there. He had a fumble in this game, only had 40 yards rushing.
I went into the weekend really nervous. I kept saying that I needed to have immunity going into the week, and that was the only way I was going to get through it. I wasn't too far off. The team wasn't producing where I needed it to.
Good news is I'm still one of the top 6 scorers going into the Sunday night game, but there are some people below me with some players. Fingers crossed that they don't get enough to pass me up, and then I will be safe from the Eliminator.
Let's check the results to find out which 6 contestants will be joining Steve in the panel, and which 3 will be making lineups for the Elimination Showdown on Monday night.
Woo! What can I say? That's 2 weeks in a row, top nerd. And doing it without Josh Allen. And just because I can, saving my boy the point after. He's safe. He's safe along with me. You guys better be on the watch. Be on the lookout for gymnastic, slapping babies and kissing ladies.
My boy Gymnastic from the Gold Jackets QB just alerted me, telling me that he's keeping me safe. He's one top nerd. Congratulations, Jimmy. I cannot thank you enough for keeping me safe one more week.
Oh, almost a top nerd this week. Gymnastic. Outscoring me by 0.9. 0.9. This is going to be interesting. Time to actually put some gameplay into motion. This is going to be tough. Put a lot of thought into it, but I have an idea where I'm going this week.
Your boy put up the 3rd most points of the week, putting me into the panel for the Elimination Showdown vote. I cannot begin to explain how exciting that is. I am safe another week, and I get to pick who I want to put in the Elimination Showdown.
Right off the bat, as soon as the commissioner did this, you could tell people were like, uh-oh, how's this going to go? Do I have enough friends in this league? Do I have to make new friends in this league? How can I immediately improve my team? I must have talked to 7, 8, 9 different members of this league. This completely changed the dynamic, and it woke up the league completely.
Really excited about the way that week 6 turned out for me. It was nerve-wracking as ever until Kendrick Bourne with a 75-yard touchdown in the 4 o'clock game pretty much solidified it for me.
So there's going to be a vote to see who goes into the Eliminator. I'm just hoping please don't put me in there.
So I ended up with 104.5 points. So I was either the last person on the panel or the second to last person. I did a little bit of talking with some other people that were on the panel.
I got to choose who would be in the Eliminator Showdown. I specifically went to go pick the people who are scoring the most points with the most fab. Sadly, they also were some of the highest scoring teams. So instead, I tried to find whoever still had a lot of fab because your boy has nothing left. And then as a tiebreaker, I decided, you know what? Show me your best gift that you can possibly think of to save you. I actually didn't end up nominating any of those people, so you guys are welcome.
Alright, so even though my team was a piece of crap this week, the board saved me from having to go to the elimination challenge. And apparently, it's because my gift game is strong, and I can't say enough how proud I am of that. Thank you. I'll keep it strong. I'll keep it going. Just keep me around.
There are a couple guys here that have really solid lineups and have some really solid fab left.
I'll be the first person to admit that my voting process in this entire thing was, I'm here to get rid of the people with the fab. You get to talk and we're all on kind of a similar wavelength where we recognize the people with the most fab are going to be a problem.
Everybody was sort of on the same page, which is both a good and a bad thing for me. Because it means that they're looking at both talent on the team as well as available budget. They want everybody else to kind of suffer along with them if they're getting by right now without it. So it's going to get harder and harder. I'm going to have a target on my back.
America's Dynasty. He's got a good court. He was my first guy in. He's got 925 fab left. Jeremy Brenner, 1,000 fab at this point in the game is huge. He can really outbid anybody. Most people are below 500. Most, I would say, even below 300 at this point. So getting a guy like that out would also be huge.
900 plus fab and 1,000 fab are going to be a big problem later on in this competition. That's 3x leverage on me. That's why I put Jeremy Brenner and America's Dynasty in the Elimination Showdown tonight.
I was stuck between G Money and Killer B. Ultimately went with G Money. He doesn't have the fab like everybody else. He only has 103 left, but I think he has right now of the teams that can go into the Eliminator the best lineup.
The couple names that did pop up the most: America's Dynasty, G Money, and Jeremy Brenner. The three that I voted for as well. Those are the three that are getting thrown into the fire this week.
It looks like I am in the 7th position, just out of the top 6. I am now on the hot seat, and more than likely I'm going to be in the Eliminator come Monday.
I knew I was going in. Like, I knew 1,000%. I was very nervous. The lack of, firepower that my lineup has. I knew that I was going to be in the bottom 10, and the top 7 was probably going to pick me, especially when Joe called me out in that group chat.
I thought without a doubt I was going to get nominated to be thrown in that mix, considering I got so much money in fab. But I got to thank the committee for not nominating me. There's a lot of weird conversations going on here. It seems like the alliances are building up big time, and people are starting to lean towards other people. I got sneaky messages. Gotta use some fab, otherwise I'm getting targeted like crazy. There's about 4 guys out there with a lot of money, and I happen to be one of those 4 guys. It's gonna get dicey as we move forward, and I look forward to it.
Results are in. I don't know what I did. I don't know why people want to keep me around. Maybe they see my roster is on the brink, but I am safe. Ooh, I don't know how many of these I'm going to get.
Who will be dropped from the league after the Elimination Showdown this week? G Money, Jeremy Brenner, or America's Dynasty, aka Patrick? We'll find out next on Fantasy Football. Welcome back to Fantasy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The panel has spoken, and it looks like America's Dynasty, G Money, and Jeremy Brenner are headed to Monday Night Elimination Showdown as the Bills head to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Let's check it out.
Another week 6, Monday Night Football, Bills, Titans, another Elimination Showdown. Not for me. I'm in the panel. I'm safe.
I do think that people saw my strategy as a bit of a threat. Maybe that's why they wanted to go for me. I'm not sure exactly why they went for me. I would think that it's because of my fab. I would hope that that's what it is. The first time I was in here week 1, it was a lot easier because there were 10 people and there was a lot of, wiggle room. And the second time as well, I think that was, a 10-person eliminator challenge. This time it was just 3. So you're really having to nitpick and pick the best 5 I needed to get as safe alignment as possible. We knew Josh Allen was going to be the captain, and we knew Derrick Henry was going to be on every roster. So I had to come up with a lineup of the other 3 that I figured the other 2 wouldn't do. I needed to make sure that I had the best chance of having all 3 of those guys score. I went with Diggs and Moss because I felt that both those guys had high chances of scoring, and Michael Pruitt filled out the rest of my salary. So I'm really hoping that this works out in my favor.
Guess what? I got picked. Lucky me, right? And I don't know who picked me to go, but they sent me. I'm not happy about it. I don't think I deserve to go. I've been pretty decent. Haven't really ruffled any feathers. And, it could have just been luck of the draw. I don't know. They got me going into this elimination game tonight. I'm feeling good about it. I got my Josh Allen as my MVP in this one. Of course, you got to have Derrick Henry. The boy's a beast. I really went with the tight ends because of budget. I was a little short. Ferkser, Dawson Knox, and of course, Stephon Diggs. I'm coming for it. I'm mad on this one.
The votes are in, and I am one of the 3 that are going to the Eliminator this night. The matchup tonight is the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills, just to stay with the pack. I think most of them will probably be doing this move, but I'm going to be putting Josh Allen in the MVP spot. I'm a little worried to put in there Ryan Tannehill. I think the game flow is the Bills will go for an early lead, and the Titans will be playing catch-up, but at the same time, Ryan Tannehill's performance throwing the ball lately has not been good. Instead, I'm going to go with the cash cow, the monster himself, Derrick Henry. I tried multiple ways to try to get Stephon Diggs in there as the secondary for the Titans is weak, but just couldn't get the salaries to line up, so I ended up taking Emmanuel Sanders to finish up the roster. I'm going to go with Zach Moss, and then for my last position, I'm going to take Reggie Bullock, kicker for the Titans. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I survive.
This is going back and forth all night. It comes down to the final drive. Josh Allen is inside the red zone at this point. If Zach Moss scores, I'm in. Or if Stephon Diggs scores, I'm in. Josh Allen goes for it on a sneak on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and he misses. And that's my season. And to lose by like a point, it's brutal.
I have no idea how I pulled that off. Stephon Diggs did get the ball early on, so I was trailing most of that matchup, but at the end, Emmanuel Sanders came through. They missed him wide open in like the second possession of the whole game, and he also missed a couple long bombs, but at the end, he was able to give me enough points, as well as Reggie Bullock, 2 field goals and 4 extra points for the Titans. Being number 1 and number 2 obviously doesn't really matter, as long as you're just not last.
So I'm safe. I'm happy about that. I'm safe. I didn't get last place. I'm number 1 immunity. I'm number 1 in the elimination challenge. I didn't get first by 0.5 points, 0.5 of a point. I wanted this one. I was mad. I needed this win, but I'm still in. So on to week 7.
Elimination Showdown was epic. Brenner is gone, and Brenner was not happy. Looked like he was salty in the league chat after that game. His fab is what got him. That 1,000 fab, goodbye. He's got Waller and Hill hitting the market this week. They're going to be the big buys. You can be as confident as you want in these DFS lineups. Everybody here has experience with them. Everybody is hoping to get lucky and playing their favorite stacks. And this was not your week, Jeremy. Very sorry, not sorry. Cool dude. Been cool chatting with. But, oh baby, he was ticked.
Very sad to see Brenner leave, but to be honest, just glad it's not me. That's 2 for 2 in the Eliminator, of barely inching out. Got to try my best to avoid it next week. That's for sure.
It is kind of frustrating because someone else is why I'm going home. Probably more than one person is why I'm going home. But that's on me. That's the game that I signed up for, so I can't complain. not much you can do. It's a game. Wish everyone else luck, but hate to lose. I hate to lose. I feel good in the fact that I did all that I could in the 6 weeks I was in. Not fun, but I had a great time. I wish I could have gone longer, and yeah, signing out. JB signing out.
Unfortunately, Jeremy's team was not able to save him, and he has been dropped from the league. Join us next week where the players' competition lives are once again in the hands of the panel. Who will win Top Nerd to save one of their friends? Who will win the Immunity Showdown? And who will be dropped from the league in Week 7? We will find out next week. From all of us here at Fantasy Football, I'm Mark Shue. Good night, all.
You know,
Well, guys, I got some coffee in my beard. Still early. Maddie, if you're watching this, just know that I was rooting for you. You were my girlfriend's favorite. I think it was the beard.
Storm Shadow SS. See me. 13-0. 13-0. Can't beat me with Arizona.
What is John? John might be the most diverse and best word in the world. It's a noun, it's a pronoun, it's an adverb, it can be anything you want it to be. Let me give you a few examples. Hey, do you want to hit that John? Yo, check out that Johnny over there. One of my personal favorites. Have you seen my Johnny John?
All the dreams heard the angel dust. Come on, thumbs up for the names you trust. Manipulate the pleas just so obvious. Draw lots for the roads that you yet to try. Phone book for the names that you yet to find. Drop a few like coin for the left behind. The plaintiff and the priest go to testify.